folks, let's get started. We got several new games being announced. We have a new game from Space Cowboys called Spellbook coming. This is from Phil Walker Harding.
Oh, Phil Walker Harding's back.
Heard of him.
Does he sleep, you think? Or
No.
Yeah, no, he's past
You think
it.
he's the new Knizia?
Mike will be upset. There is no
No,
new
I'm
Knizia.
serious. Like, he's putting out a ton of games each year. I don't know if he's as machine-like as Knizia is.
He's close, right? He's getting to that
Careful.
point.
He is.
Companies, like, he works with a lot of different companies. He's always got something new out. I think he might be the most apropos comparison, yes.
He's the Aussie Knizia.
What's that mean? Like,
From
because he's from
Australia?
Australia? Oh, okay.
Oh, I
I
think
think you meant like Osborne.
No,
I know.
why
I
would
thought
I mean
Osborne
that?
too. I'm like,
Why would I
fucking-
mean that?
I have no
All right.
idea.
Anyway, Spellbook. With more than 2,100 possible spell combinations, lots of replayability. I'm actually pretty interested in this one. It's going to be demoed at Gen Con with a few early boxes for sale. Few equals probably 50 or 100.
Or 200 at best.
Yeah.
Not loving the name, I think. The name is a little forgettable, but it is about a spell book, so maybe that works.
I like the
I
artwork.
wonder, I mean, that's all we've got, though, so far. We don't really know what kind of game it is, or do we?
You have a grimoire, which is already a name of another game.
Book, yeah.
He says, this is Phil Walker Harding says, Spellbook is a result of my fascination with rummy combinations. Learning spells turned out to be the perfect theme. And then Space Cowboys, thanks to the extraordinary work of Space Cowboys, the game came to life. I hope players will enjoy learning some magic tricks.
Oh, Joey, that's right up your alley.
Pass.
I'm just kidding.
Then, my favorite game, Harry Potter. I also like it, Doctor Strange.
Oh, that would be great. If you can talk to them.
Wow, yeah,
But Space Cowboys has a really good track record.
they do.
So
Yeah, they do.
that's a good combo.
Honestly, when it comes to this, all this information, I trust Phil Walker Harding. I really trust Space Cowboys.
And you really, really trust magic.
No, I don't trust magic at all.
Magic's
I think
a pile of lies on the stage.
yeah, okay.
Fine.
I don't believe in it at all.
All right. Well, since Mike puts together the news, we got some stuff from Oink.
Here we
So
go.
we got Tiger and Dragon. That's an English version of this game.
Both Tiger and Dragon in the same game? Is Phil Walker Harding involved?
Yes.
I gotta say, that dragon looks like a pretty pathetic, weak dragon compared to the tiger on the cover.
He's malnourished.
Yeah. He's
He's really not that great.
got
Anyway, this is based on a
questions.
traditional Japanese game. It was originally released by Arclight Games, but Oink is doing the international version. The Ultimate Kung Fu Showdown.
I get, is there a mahjong vibe
That's what I'm
going
feeling
on
on
here?
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
right?
Maybe it's based on a traditional game, Goita, Goita.
Huh.
I don't think I know that. It doesn't ring any bells. It looks cool. It looks like a really nice production. And this is one of the slightly bigger Oink boxes. You know, they're still so small, but it looks to be one of the slightly larger ones.
You're right.
With some rummy-esque combinations, which means Phil Walker Harding will probably like it. He's fascinated with rummy lately. I don't know if you guys have heard that.
I have not.
I did.
All right, also from Oink, we have Make the Difference. Now, this one I have already reviewed on our channel. I got an earlier copy from Essen. I guess the international one, now it's coming to America. So they give you these two pictures, and you make 5 changes with a marker on the picture. Mm-hmm. And then you put a little plastic thing on top of it so it obscures so you can't just see what's the
new ink?
the new ink. And then everyone goes and looks for the differences between the two pictures. It's really good.
Did you play it?
Yeah.
Did the obscuring thing work? That
It
was my
does.
one issue. That was
It does work.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, you can make like a line, like, I forget, there's some rules on like what you can and cannot do, but you like can lengthen a line. You can be a little subtle with what you've done.
Huh.
I like that a lot. 'Cause
I
I
do
love
too.
these
I do
spot
too.
the difference games. And when you can make your own, that's just fun.
I used to do those highlights magazines, and sometimes they'd forget to put 10 in there, and they say there's 10, there's only 9. I remember spending hours. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And they're like, hey, just so you know, last magazine, we made a huge mistake.
You have to wait till next month.
Like, come on.
Oh, man.
Yeah, these I like. That's, man, you could be really subtle with that,
It
too,
is a
couldn't you?
disposable game because you will run out of, you only mark on one of the two pictures, but then that picture, the one that you did, is gone. But I think there was like 100 in the box pages.
So it's not erasable.
It is not.
And you really couldn't tell. It blends in well when you.
It really does. I had doubts on that.
Yeah.
But it did.
Yeah, that was my concern when I saw it come through here. But that's great.
But you also try not to make it too hard because they have to find it within a certain time frame. If they don't find it, you lose points. But if they find it too early, you lose points.
It's like Dixon.
Oh.
Dixon
Yeah.
rules.
Okay.
Find the sweet spot.
All right. Now from Brain Crack Games, also Lucky Duck, we got Last Resort. Last Resort is coming into retail Q3 of this year. It's by Andrew Forster. You're building a space hotel. It's 60 to 80 minutes, not 90. You will not go 90.
No.
If
If it goes to 90 minutes, you've done something horribly wrong.
Yeah.
This is a cool looking cover, that's for sure. As far as what's going on the table, I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not a great picture, and it also looks a little generic, but I'm hoping it's good.
The tiles are back.
I think tile laying, yeah, and maybe moving around little people on the center there.
Yeah, I want to zoom in and kind of do that.
Yeah,
a little
right?
bit.
You got to pinch it.
Yeah, just do that. Just do that, Tom.
Oh,
Yep, there it is.
okay. Anyhow, now speaking of weird covers,
Yeah.
Champions. This is coming from Asmodee. Now, this is a game in which I have zero interest, which is unfortunate because Repo's Production is a company I like a lot. Now, there's a few problems with this for me. One, that cover's weird.
Yeah.
Two, they're calling it Champions. Isn't the other game called Champions? The one from Z-Man?
Challengers?
Oh, it's Challengers. Okay. But Champions, I don't know, is that unique. But this game, let me read you the description.
Go for it.
It's a fast-paced party game where players vote on who will win various duels inspired by hypothetical prompts.
Okay.
You're offered 2 fictional or historical characters and duel cards and vote on who would win the duel. As an example, Marie Antoinette could take on King Kong in a duel of who likes pineapple on their pizza more.
Oh, boy.
Wait, what? Kind of fell apart there at the end. So
Here's the thing. This game already exists
we've
at
definitely-
least
At least
2 or
one.
3.
Yeah,
Really?
There's Who Would Win. There is that fight game, the Ultimate Fight Showdown or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Super Fight. Now, Super Fight's slightly different because they're
yeah.
actually fighting.
That's-
But
okay.
Who Would Win
Is this game?
is this game exactly. You would draw like Martha Stewart and Barack Obama and who would be better at crocheting. And then you would argue over that. Now, this might have more of a game involved in it. It better. Because that premise is like, blah.
I agree. I was hoping it would be... I love weird characters in a soup kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then when it's the old argue for your side and the judge will give you points or not, I hate that.
Yeah, I know.
That very much for me, like you said, falls apart at the end.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a bizarre looking cover too, but I like the brightness of it. I like the party atmosphere of it.
Yellow's the new box cover.
It's really bright, too. I'm not a huge... Yeah,
That's
way
a
too
wait.
bright.
It's a wait and try for sure. It might be hilarious.
Who's up at the top right? Is that Wednesday Addams? Is that what they're trying to do? I don't know.
For sure.
Is it? Okay.
All right, then we got Beacon Patrol, which
Here we go.
we almost played the other night.
We did.
And then I said no.
Oh, yeah.
You had about box of Brazilian games.
I did. But this is coming from Pandasaurus, and your Captain of the Coast Guard is a 2-player game, a tile-laying game. Looks very interesting.
It does.
It'll
Artwork's
be
good.
available in retail July 26th, also at Gen Con, because that's after July 26th.
Yes. I like lighthouses. I'm in.
I like that
Pandasaurus.
style, that drawing
I do
style
too.
with the thick lines like that and the very light, very simple palette. Only 3 colors on there. I really like that.
Yeah.
4 colors, I guess.
All right. A couple games from Queen here. So the first one is Finish Line, the dice action game. So both these games are from Dan Glim, who I don't know off the top of my head. Now, what's odd about this one is our thing says it's heading to the U.S., but I was just looking at Target yesterday, and this game was available on their board game site. It was being
pre-ordered?
fulfilled by another store,
Okay.
like Noble Night Games or something. I forget who works with Target, but you could get it right now. If I had ordered it, I would have it Tuesday, as they said.
Okay.
This one breaks the long tradition of Queen not having good covers. 'Cause
Wow, I was thinking the same thing.
that's a pretty good cover.
That does not look like a Queen
great
cover.
And a lot of Queen games have Middle Eastern or Egyptian settings. Like, they love those settings. So this is nice to see something a little bit different
It's
from
just-
them. To be fair, they might be racing these horses in Egypt. I don't know.
Those are like the angry horses. Those aren't like the
that a-
soft horses. Those are.
Is that a pyramid in the back or a mountain?
I think it's the stands of the...
It's in Kentucky, so
Oh,
it's probably like.
okay.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's the stands.
Anyway, this is a new racing game.
Yeah.
Someone's going to roll 3 dice from 2 to 5 colors. Pick one to keep. Everyone else will do the same. The dice will change the position of horses or alter the value of horses. There'll be bets. I hope it's good. It's going to have a hard time competing with some, obviously Ready, Set, Bet just came out.
Plus, that kid, it sounds a little bit like the Knizia Classic, Turfmaster.
It is weird that in the bottom corner they have this like custom dice.
Yeah, that didn't. That looks. That's very Queen. But no.
I mean, it's like seriously, it's like custom dice. Oh, as opposed to other games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like no one has custom dice these
It's like,
days.
wait, what? You can customize dice?
It's such a weird thing.
It's crazy.
Unless they're selling this, unless this plan is for mass market, in which case that
Right.
is a selling point.
Sure.
The other game is a reprint of a game that they did on Kickstarter for sure, called Dragon Quest, a fantasy dice game.
Whoa, also custom. They're throwing this custom dice thing around.
Well, that's a new thing they're
Cost
doing.
them a lot of money.
But now we're back to their normal covers.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a roll and write game based on the 1985 Games Workshop title Dungeon Quest. I'm out. I hate Dungeon Quest so much.
Really? Haven't played it.
So Dungeon Quest is a game in which you go through and you be moving around this dungeon, you draw cards, and then you might fight stuff or whatever. You could also draw a card that says, you die. Or roll a die, 4 to 6, you die. I'm not kidding. The percentage, I forget what it is exactly, but it's like 22% that you'll survive.
Really? So
And-
it's fully luck-based. It's like D&D 1E.
It's fully luck-based, a little bit of push your luck, I suppose. Like you get some treasure, like now you get out, but you still have to move through the rooms. But there's a lot of rooms where like my turn. I move into a room, turn the card over, and it says, nothing happens. I'm like, man, I'm having so much fun. It has its fans, though. Every time I say this, someone in the comments will be like, oh, I love the game. But Dungeon Quest sucks. Okay. Anyway,
Dragon Quest, though,
this is
has custom dice.
Yeah, did yours?
I don't remember.
I do wonder, yeah.
Anyway, I saw it. It's like a big roll and write. I was looking at the Kickstarter that they had. It's like a big sheet of stuff. I think you go through the dungeon. I'm not sure.
You lose Z after 3 sheets of their own right, remember?
After one.
The game ends when you get
You're out,
your
he's out.
19th turn, or if you lose 13 hit points. The player who is alive and has gathered the most amount of treasure is the winner.
Okay.
All right. Where are we at now? Oh, I like this cover. Comet.
Oh.
This is from Fun Tales. Peter Prinz. It's been a while since we've seen a game from him. He's
Well,
the
he's only
designer
ever
of
done one.
Thieves. No, there's a crime story series that he was involved with.
Really?
Yeah.
Because as far as I know, he did Thieves, and he did Thieves, the card game, which was kind of like Thieves.
It was very much like
That's
Thieves.
it. Like, I didn't know about anything else. That's really amazing.
The illustrator here is the same guy, it says, as Hendrik Nowak, who did Glenmore 2 and Mosaic.
Okay, so it's Fun Tales, which is Glenmore 2. You know, that's what they're known for mostly.
And they have good components.
They
There
do
are
have
several
good
games.
components,
And this
yes.
designer, Thieves, is very popular. You're trying to rescue animals from getting extinct, endangered species here. And once you rescue the animals, they give you special abilities.
Ooh, I wonder what you get from that goat. I love that
Jerky.
looking at this cover. You can look at this cover and go, like, I know which ones don't make it.
Yeah.
Like, that goat is gonna make it. I've seen that fella.
I have
He's
too.
down the street. That saber-toothed tiger? Sorry, pal.
You don't know if Robert is here. He might have one of those in the back.
A saber-toothed tiger?
That'd be cool. I'd go
That'd
there
be
more
amazing.
I would
Oh
too.
my gosh.
That's why
often.
the
They better
shakes
like
are
a
so
really big
expensive.
fence, though. I would.
I don't understand how saber-toothed tigers
Didn't make it?
work, like mechanically work.
How they close their mouths?
Those giant
Yeah.
tusks, you know, they're not talking about their teeth, but they went below their jaw. Like, how do you get chow in the mouth?
I think they have other teeth in their mouth.
I know, but then it's
how do you
like
pull
wearing
it
like
in?
a guard. You gotta.
So they would sink their teeth into the
Yeah.
mammoth, and then they turn on the suction vacuum cleaner,
Suck it up.
and they would just start sucking.
Oh
Makes
wow!
sense. I
Really,
saw that.
you know a lot about biography.
I do know about biography. All right, Coney, which, in case you guys didn't know, is another word for rabbit. That's another great cover.
Ooh.
By the way, I should mention that last game. I'm very excited about.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
good.
Coney is designed by Giampaolo Razzini. This is from Little Rocket Games. So you're going to be building your own little rabbit farm, putting cards in a 3x3 grid, which makes it sound like a very little game. A 3x3 grid can't be a big game.
No.
It's really pretty. That is a really pretty cover. This is
Artwork is Mirko Properzi.
hopefully this is again kind of another one of those very relaxing, sweet little games.
Get better.
You know, like herbaceous kind of games. That would be neat. I like those kinds of games. They're not for every occasion, but they have their place.
But come on, wouldn't you kind of like to open that box and have this 1v1 just aggressive cutthroat style
Imagine.
game? Yeah.
Like, I'm cooking you a rabbit. Like, oh, jeez.
All right. If you're a fan of people who like weathered-looking boxes, and I'm not, then you'll like Fiction's Memoirs of a Gangster.
You know what? It has a pulp detective look. Hopefully it's a better game inside of it.
I like the look. I just
do
don't like
too.
the weathered box.
I do
No.
like that.
And then I always sit there and I get the card and I'm like,
Oh, when it
Oh.
gets to the cards, you kind of wonder.
it's like,
yeah, but it's,
even the box, it looks like the box is beat up.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that.
I like the artwork, though.
I can turn all your boxes into this.
No, but they won't fit.
They all turn into this eventually.
I like that this one looks like an old beat-up pot boiler. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's...
All right, so who are the people who designed it?
Ooh, Watership
are
Down.
Fabian Rafad and Juan Rodriguez. They designed The Grizzled. The artist is Eric
okay.
Beller, who illustrated Trekking Through History.
Okay.
So this is
Oh,
published
wow,
by
really?
Yeah, so this is published by Ludonova. It's a cooperative game in which you're a mafia boss trying to get enough influence and power to win a mayoral election. This may be the first cooperative mafia game I've ever heard of. I think.
Yeah, you might be right.
Because if you said, hey, I'm making a game about mafia, I'd be like, definitely fighting game.
Fully
Yeah,
co-op.
yeah.
Huh.
People throwing each other into the river and all that. Yeah.
It's coming
That's
out at
neat.
Essen.
Okay, I'm psyched for that. That goes right on my list
Yep.
to check out.
You know what's in? Dinosaurs, because here we go. Lands of the Mesozoic. Now this cover is nice, but it's not as cool as the other one.
No.
It looks posed. Gotcha.
All right, everyone move. The T-Rex like, can I eat? You're like, no.
Hold on.
Stay still, Phil. Hold on. We're almost done.
All right, so this is
Don't
from...
humanize the T-Rex.
This is... let's see. The card game is designed by Australian geoscience lectern Ander Gwynne, with artwork presented by award-winning Ukrainian paleo artist Sergei Krasovsky.
Cool. That's very competent artwork, clearly.
Yeah.
Like, really good.
You're building habitats, and you're trying to have a good ecosystem, and there's the player with the most points after the 3 periods of Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous period. This is coming out December.
Okay.
I always try to have a good ecosystem, though, in any game.
I do
Really,
too.
you know?
Not me.
Except for Comet, apparently. That's going to go south.
All right. This lady's going to shoot a giant arrow right into your head. Gods of Rome.
Oh, wow.
I'm not even sure who she's pointing at, because all those people are safe at this point in time.
Yeah.
Because she is just pointing at something. Anyway, this is from Pythagoras. Now, this I'm actually excited about, because it looks like Pythagoras is taking the criticisms of their games. I think Pythagoras makes good games,
Yeah.
but they all look like they came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
This does not look like their other games at
Right.
all.
Right.
So but their mechanisms are good. So I'm
Well, it's a
excited about that.
Miguel Coimbra artwork, which is superb. He's one of the absolute best artists working in board games.
I like that cover a lot.
That's
Okay.
a great cover.
Yeah.
This is the kind of cover that makes me want to go, ooh, let me pick this game up and flip it over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, in this game, you're going to choose a god-backed tribe at the start of the game, and you have to lead that tribe to gain the god's favor.
Okay.
So on your turn, you'll either visit a god, getting their blessing token,
Done.
activating a card, or scoring. So there's different checkpoints in the favor track, and different things are happening. Yeah, their games are usually not particularly complicated, like an hour, 90-minute games. So this is exciting. This is not the only game coming from them. Here's another one coming from them called Lata, which also does not look like one of their games. It feels like they've embraced modern game looks.
Interesting.
This one, can of tuna. Do you like tuna?
I do like
Sardines.
tuna.
I'm sorry, sardines.
No.
You don't like sardines?
No. Do you?
I do like sardines.
Really salty.
Do you like sardines? Mm-hmm. Do you like the little octopus you can get in those tins too?
No.
You get octopus in those tins?
Uh-huh. Goya. They make everything.
They do.
Gosh.
Anyway, this is the Portuguese canning
Nasty.
industry, which this is based on here. This is like World War II. These type of thing is very popular because you can send them to the troops and stuff, and it made it because of World War II. Then they became more popular.
Okay.
I love that
So you're learning history.
I haven't thought of those cans that come with the key in
Oh, I know.
years.
You still make them?
I don't know. I assume they do, but
I thought they were all
Maybe
pool
they're
tops
usually
now.
the pull tops.
I know, but that's so cool. That's such a throwback to
that
me.
is.
Where you take the key and you put it in the thing and you like roll it open. It's so
was-
cool. I
is.
mean, again, it just blows my mind. And did you know, by the way, that cans were invented several years before can openers? Back in I want to say maybe between the First and Second
Really?
World War.
Well, it would be weird the other way around.
It would be.
Hey guys, I made a can
They were
opener.
but it was
So like,
years.
what's that for?
It was years. I guess they used bayonets or knives or whatever to crack them open.
Huh. Or
And then eventually they were like, okay, we got a tool to do this.
So next give a timeline. I'm going to know where to put that.
You're going to know.
Anyway, you're buying and selling fish, tomatoes, olive oil to your factories, making preserves, selling them to the markets. So it's it's an economic style game. It sounds really good. I like the theme because it's a different theme. Like you're not buying and selling silk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
cool.
It's interesting.
I hope it's scented.
Oh.
You know, open it up.
Oh, they're scented.
All right, the last
Sardines.
game for today here is from Funny Fox, and this is Nautilus Island. Today's a good day for box covers.
That's nice.
This is from Johannes Gruppi and Theo Rivera. I like Theo a lot. You are castaway, shipwrecked on an island, a volcanic island, of course. But you come across this abandoned submarine, which you're trying to repair and get off the island. I'm assuming it's... No, it's not cooperative. It's competitive. You're trying to claim bonuses for various sets. The player with most victory points wins. Oh, you're trying to get off the island before everybody else.
Right.
Hey, guys, I found a submarine. Let's all work to get it together. We're going to leave at 6. So get a good night's sleep.
Oh, man, that'd be so
Yo.
bad.
That would be like the worst.
I do like that. I like the cover. I like the idea. Funny Fox has made some other interesting stuff, and this is kind of a Porta adjacent anyway, this company.
Yeah, but it's even more different than you think. It's 2 to 4 players, and it plays in 20 minutes.
I like the board, too.
Wow.
Those look like little tiles or something down there. Or are they cards? Oh, it
They
looks
do look
good.
like tiles. I don't know. We'll see.
Very cool. Very cool.
Oh, I lied. There is another game. Sorry.
Is it Fire?
Tangram City by
Oh.
Uwe Rosenberg.
Oh.
People are like, Uwe Rosenberg, all you do is make square polyomino games. And he's like,
No.
hold my beer. I don't know if he drinks beer. He must. He makes it's in a lot of his games.
I think he's hot tea.
He definitely eats food. We know that much. 'Cause
We
it's
do.
in all of his games.
You have to eat food. So this is from Korean Board Games, which I like. I'm a little less excited about this. I think tangrams are interesting, but this is like just a polyomino game with some more unique shapes type thing.
Gosh, that looks boring.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't look super exciting.
Cover's pretty funny how that city is actually made in the tangram.
The
Well,
cover's great. Actually, I really like the cover. The
a lot-
letters, like the logo, I think is great.
Yeah.
It's a good-looking cover, but that game shot is like, ooh, okay. But hey, I'm sure it's competent. Unless it's not, because he's definitely also the guy who made that one game. Was that one game that nobody liked?
Anagram City?
No, he made that like...
Little City.
Uwe Rosenberg has like one well-known super
Oh,
good.
the 2-player game.
Hengist?
Hengist, yes. Oh,
I'm playing
man. It's
Hengist
so
is
bad.
like
Really?
awful. It's one of the worst games I've ever played.
That's not no joke, yes.
I'll
All
play
right.
it.
In industry news, so this broke just last week, and so I want to read some more about it before we talked about it. Although there has not been a lot of movement in the last week. Upper Deck is suing Ravensburger and designer Ryan Miller over Disney Lorcana. Disney Lorcana, gigantic collectible card game release from Ravensburger with the Disney theme, in which you are artists drawing pictures or something like that, fighting back and forth with each other, trying to get 20 points.
Okay.
This was going to be, and as far as I know, still is the big Gen Con release for
Everywhere,
them.
yeah.
The events that were sold out instantly for it. The froth over this game is high. Upper Deck is saying that Ryan Miller, the designer who worked for them, designed another game for them called, what was that other game called? Forgettable Name, because it really was a forgettable
Something of
name.
Ashcon or
Yeah, something like that. Anyhow, he was designing this game for them, and then he took that game mechanisms and brought it here, and now it's ruined the launch of their game, basically.
Okay.
So there's a lot of back and forth. Justin Jacobson, who's a lawyer, posted a little bit about this online and talked about it. I mean, we don't know who's right, who's wrong. Obviously, that's why courts exist, to help that sort of thing out. You cannot, according to current law, copyright game mechanisms. So if you made a game, I would just steal it straight up and say Tom Vassell, and I would sell more than yours.
And add Opoly on the end, yeah.
I would add Opoly on the end. Well, no, you can trademark and copyright names and stuff. Wizards of the Coast trademarked tapping famously a while ago.
Really?
Yeah, but that patent has expired.
Okay.
And everyone else just did it. They just called it something else.
Right.
Right, okay.
But what the crux of this is not that the game is the same. It's that he made it, they're claiming, while working for them, so therefore it's theirs.
And that's where it gets muddier, yeah.
Right. His contract could stipulate that anything, it's not about copyrighting the game or the game's mechanisms, which, yes, again, is sort of a nebulous area and you can't do. But if it's a breach of contract for him to have taken something very close to something he worked on for them,
Right.
which belongs to them while he works there, and took it somewhere else, then that's where it starts to get a little messy, And yes, absolutely, this is still very much developing, so there's not a lot of news or clarifications out there, but this could hold more water than the usual so-and-so stole a mechanism in my game. It's like, well, that's too bad. But when contracts and previous employers versus new employers come into play, there might be something there.
But we don't know, so we're being very cautious on, I don't know who did what, where, why. Why they waited this long. The game has been out for a while to do this, but maybe legalities take longer.
You mean the game's not out, the announcement's been out.
No, Upper Deck, Ravensburger has basically said, we did nothing in their press release. Upper Deck says, we believe in fair play, and that's why we're doing this. They're being very holy in theirs, and Ravensburger's being very honest in theirs, and I don't believe Ryan has made a public statement, probably was told not to.
Probably.
You should not make public statements about legal stuff unless your lawyer says do it. But anyway, we'll find out. So
and my point being that Lorcana is not out.
No.
No, but the rules have been out for quite a while. I played it back at Gamma, remember?
Sure. But
And you wonder the timing on why they waited, or unless there was some
It
sort
just
of
might have taken
conversation
a while
behind
for the
scenes.
legalities to get together.
Right. Or they were trying to talk it out.
yeah.
Maybe.
That's interesting.
My guess would be this won't see court. That would be my guess.
No, I wouldn't think so, because
I think it will be settled behind the scenes. And,
Yeah.
I assume so as well.
and you'll still see Lorcana. They put too much into this Lorcana with
They
the Disney
can't.
license.
It's Disney.
right.
Yeah.
This will come out.
Although Disney is not being sued.
No, it's not. No.
They didn't name Disney as a defendant.
Oh,
because,
don't do that.
I would not.
No.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
All right, and then in the last piece of industry news, Renegade has acquired the license for Heroescape and changed the logo to look like this. I'm not sure why, but
No, this was already the logo that they showed when they tried to crowdfund it.
oh, this was
Yeah,
okay,
this
so it
already
was
was the new
changed
logo.
to some degree.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Heroescape, this is part of their deal. So if you wonder why Renegade got it and not Restoration or other people, because Renegade had made a deal with them to get Access and Allies and a lot of their older games that they're not printing. Acquire, Renegade is reprinting these older Hasbro games, and so this is a good way for Hasbro to let the game get reprinted, but hold true to their, hey, the Kickstarter didn't fund, or whatever they call it, the pulse. In one of the worst run campaigns I've ever seen. Hasbro bungled that one like a mad dog. Now, how is Renegade going to do this? They've been very quiet on that. They've announced that they're hiring someone to be in charge of it to some degree, but there's going to be terrain packs, faction boxes, new models. They haven't mentioned if the models will be painted. I doubt they will because it's expensive.
Right. Or if they'll be plastic. They haven't mentioned that either.
I would hope
they wouldn't.
so.
No, I think they will, but I'm just pointing out that they haven't actually said that.
Thank you.
Shrinky
They have basically said they're going to run
card game also,
tournaments, and I think they also said it will be backwards compatible.
Rolling around.
Really? Like combinable with all the old Heroescape stuff?
I think so. They're trying to do organized play. There's no launch. There's not a lot more other than that. I am cautiously optimistic about this. I am not over the moon about this because I wasn't over the moon about that Kickstarter. There's a few things also. They bungled it. I don't like the not painted stuff because it's not going to match the other stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
If you play with it as is, I think that's fine then, right?
Yeah.
If you just say the old stuff doesn't exist and play, then I don't care. I don't need my minis to be painted per se, but having it unpainted with painted is weird.
I do feel like a lot of the people who were into Heroescape when they were younger and when Heroescape probably got them into that hobby, I feel like many of them probably became miniatures painters, though.
Right.
So I do wonder if, to many folks, this might not be a selling point. Like, ooh, I get to paint Heroescape and combine it with old Heroescape. Nostalgia dream. You know what I mean?
From looking at the fan bases online and stuff, it seems divided in that way. The other thing I didn't like is my main point for Heroescape was you have Revolutionary War soldiers, Vikings, Men in Black, dragons, all mixed together, robots and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, as time went by, Hasbro started releasing Dungeons and Dragons Heroescape, and it just became all fantasy. And this new expansion was clearly all fantasy. Still a fun game, but that anachronistic stuff is fun.
It is. Yeah.
I don't know if Renegade will do that or not, and we also don't know if Renegade, they obviously have licensing power. They got Power Rangers and G.I. Joe, and
Oh, interesting.
could they stick that in? I don't know.
That would be interesting.
But that would be interesting.
Yeah.
You make a
also
G.I.
have-
Joe Heroescape set?
Uh-huh.
Really? You love G.I. Joe stuff?
I do, man.
That's
A
so
G.I. Joe
sad.
set. Really? G.I. Joe better than...
The more you know. Moving on.
I was to say
No,
Boston
wasn't
Beans
there
candy.
there was a Marvel Heroescape, right?
There was one Marvel
Yeah.
Heroescape.
Was that good? Did you play that?
I
I'm
liked it a
assuming you did.
lot,
Yeah.
and it was so popular actually that the custom Marvel and DC stuff online is immense. I have a ton of it here. Even I
like
bought it because they could use
Fan-made, okay.
they use the HeroClix figures.
Yeah, okay.
And people
Oh,
would
yeah,
play
yeah.
test it, and there, you can. It's a good superhero light battle system. A lot.
That's cool. I never played the Marvel one. Yeah.
So, like I said, cautiously
Like it.
optimistic. I'm going to wait to hear more from Renegade. I'm also going to. I haven't yet seen their version of Acquire and Axis and Allies and stuff. I want to see what they've done with them so far. I'm looking at both of those, and they look
Fine.
like sideways lateral moves from the original games, which is
Right.
not a bad thing per se. Heroescape, we'll see.
Yeah, this
It's a
one will
big
need to...
undertaking, this. You know?
I bet they kickstart it
Oh, yeah.
or crowdfund it, and I bet we don't see it till late 24.
Yeah.
Unless
I
they
agree.
just take all the stuff from the Pulse and it's ready to go.
They're going to revamp
You
it.
think it was ready to go?
Well, I mean, like the files and the...
Oh.
All right, well, we'll see. And that, folks, is the news.